Acts chapter 12. Persecution continues. As events happened about that time, the monarch Herod severely persecuted some believers in the congregation. He ordered the execution of James, brother of John, by the sword. When he observed that the Jews were delighted at what he did, he proceeded to arrest Peter. And these events occurred during the period of the Unleavened Bread Festival. After Peter had been arrested, he was thrown in prison. And while in prison, he was specially guarded by 4 squads, each squad having 4 soldiers. Herod's intention was to try him openly after the Passover. And so, Peter remained in prison. But the believers in the congregation kept entreating the Lord for him. The night before King Herod would present him to the masses, Peter was slumbering right between 2 soldiers. He was shackled with 2 heavy chains, and there were soldiers keeping watch at the gate of the prison. Suddenly, an angel of God was standing in the place, and a brilliant light shone in the jail. The angel touched Peter on the shoulder, moved him, and woke him up, saying, "Arise, move." Immediately the shackles dropped off Peter's hands, and he was absolutely free. And the angel of the Lord told him, "Adjust your belt and put on your footwear." So Peter did, and the angel told him, "Wear your garment and follow me." Peter went with him out of the cell, and they both exited the jail. But Peter was not sure if the angel was actually taking him away from prison. It was as if he was in a trance. They walked past the first and the second guard posts, and they came finally to the iron gate exiting into the city. The gate opened automatically, and they exited. Peter and the angel walked together for a while on the street, but the angel suddenly disappeared. At that point, Peter understood what had just happened, saying, "I'm fully aware that this is true. The Lord my God dispatched his angel to save me from Herod's deadly grip and from all other things the Jewish crowds thought would occur." And having reflected on this, Peter went to the residence of Mary, the mother of John, whose last name was Mark. And there was a multitude assembled in the place, beseeching the Lord. Peter signaled by tapping at the door of the gate, and a lady called Rhoda approached the place to answer. Rhoda heard Peter's voice and was exceedingly glad, somewhat astounded. She ran back in without opening the gate, and she announced to everybody that Peter was standing at the gate. But they told her, "You are out of your mind." But she continued to insist that her statement was correct, and they concluded it must be Peter's angel. In the meantime, Peter continued tapping at the door. Finally, they came and opened the door. And seeing Peter, they were quite astounded. Peter motioned with his hand and ordered them not to get excited, but to remain calm. And he told them everything, how the angel of the Lord had taken him out of jail. And he told them, "Go, inform James and the congregation of believers. Tell them everything I told you." And he left and proceeded to another destination. When it was day, the guards were greatly troubled and thrown into utter chaos. none of them knew what had happened to Peter. King Herod came and ordered a search for Peter. They searched and did not find him. So he summoned the guards, queried the issue, and ordered them to be executed. Herod then departed Judea and resided in Caesarea for a while. At this time, King Herod was furious with the dwellers of Tyre and Sidon. But they approached him in a group, and having made Blastus, the monarch's personal assistant, their ally, they proceeded to King Herod and requested for peace, because their own country received its foodstuffs from the monarch's land. And so, on a special selected day, King Herod, robed in his royal apparel, sat gracefully on his splendid throne and addressed the people. And the masses continued yelling, "It is a God speaking. It is a God speaking, and not a man." At once, God's angel struck Herod, because he did not glorify the Lord God, and he was consumed by worms and expired. In the meantime, the word of the Lord kept spreading everywhere and flourishing. Barnabas and Saul accomplished their mission and came back from the city of Jerusalem. And they were accompanied by John, whose last name was Mark.